Next, we recognize the winner of the Outstanding Western Lifestyle Programming Award, sponsored by friends of mine, Bert and Monty Carroll Madera. Singer, songwriter, poet, author, cowboy, TV host, and friend of mine, Red Steagall, added a new television show, Red Steagall is Somewhere West of Wall Street, to his list.
Red and his quarter-horse gray dog explore the people, places, and stories of the American West. They discover the history of ranches and visit museums that present and perpetuate the image and lifestyle of the American West. Let's take a look.
I'm not at home on crowded streets. They don't appeal to me. In the heart of God's cathedral is where I want to be. So I take the outside circle when the stars are growing dim. See the morning light play shadows all along the canyon rim. I feel the prairie wake and flush a dozen bobwhite quail as I guide my favorite cowhorse down a rough and rocky trail. I ride through mountain country, gaze across the great divide as I trail majestic mustangs that no man will ever ride. A red-tailed hawk is screaming as he searches for his prey. The cottonwoods are yellow on this crisp November day. I crave the open spaces where the sky is blue and wide. Somewhere west of Wall Street is where my heart and soul reside.
This year's award-winning Outstanding Western Lifestyle Programming goes to Red Steagall. Is Somewhere West of Wall Street. In fact, he's right here. Accepting is host and producer Red Steagall, executive producer Greg Brown, and other members of the production crew.
Thank you, guys. You know, there's no way that I can adequately explain to you what this award means to me. And everyone who's accepted this award tonight, join me in expressing our appreciation to this wonderful institution for helping us preserve and perpetuate the image of our beloved West that stretches from the plains of Alberta to the grasslands of Chihuahua and the hillsides of the Sierra Madres. To receive this award makes us all aware that the West of today is preserved in what we write, film, and sing. We accept that challenge, and we're honored that we're chosen as the best of 2015 in our individual endeavors. This beautiful sculpture by Harold Holden makes everyone in the creative community work a little harder to improve our craft. And I share this honor with my creative team. You can tell we have a big crew. They're all on stage. And each person is equally as important as the other. All of us have one thing in common. We all grew up on the plains of West Texas in the Panhandle, close to the Palo Duro Canyon. And we all see life through the same lens. We value the same traditions and values, heritage, the values of honesty and integrity, loyalty, work ethic, dedication to family, convicted about our belief in God, and practicing common decency and respect for our fellow man every day we live. We try to capture that as we explore and film the places, the events, and the people of our wonderful Western culture. And there's a lot of them still out there. As my friend Baxter Black says, a cowboy ain't dead, you just can't see him from the freeway. But every single person on this stage is so important to me, and I want you to meet them. Greg Brown is our executive producer and the publisher of Cowboys and Indians magazine. Gary Reynolds is our director, our editor, and our #1 cameraman. And I want to thank his darling wife, Tammy, for her letting us use some of the most beautiful still photographs I've ever seen in my life. And you saw a whole bunch of them on our opening statement. Jody Duggan, in show business terms, he's our first AD. I had to explain that to him a while ago. Jim Jennings is the man who makes the stories come to life with his scripts. Jim was a member of the editorial staff of the Quarter Horse Journal for 37 years. And there's my assistant for almost 40 years, Debbie Bowman. And my wife and soulmate for almost 40 years, my beloved Gail. That may sound a little confusing, but I'm not a polygamist, but I've had 2 wives for almost 40 years, one at home and one at the office. They're wonderful ladies, and they don't let me get by with much. All of us would like to thank you for the pat on the back, for making us feel that we've done our part to help preserve and perpetuate our Western lifestyle. We are honored and grateful. Thank you.
I'm about to introduce you to a young man and a young lady. The young man has an acting resume that I covet and who has served as the backbone of the American Western male for a couple generations now. The young lady, she and her husband, who's in the audience tonight, have quickly become 2 of my new best friends. Mostly because they have a house in Nashville, and when I go home to visit, I need a place to crash. Because my family drives me crazy. Hey, Mom. Presenting the last Wrangler Award in film and television and making our final induction into the Hall of Great Western Performers are 2 iconic Americans loved by Western fans everywhere. Please welcome country music superstar Wynonna Judd, and one of our favorite actors, Barry Corbin.
Wow!
That's good, isn't it?
Was that for you or for me?
I think it's for you. These people know me. They don't give me much of anything.
Wow, okay. First things first. My name is Wynonna, and I'm not just a country music singer. I am a cowgirl. I married a cowboy, and I was raised by Louis L'Amour. He was a mentor and a father figure to me. And one of my prized possessions, not my Grammys, but a picture with Roy Rogers. So when I say I grew up in the Oklahoma and Texas states, they were my backdrop of my everyday life. So I have an appreciation for you and for everybody in this room, so much so that the next time I'm at CMA, I'm gonna be like, you guys are a bunch of posers. Anyway. This is the real deal. Can I get an amen? So, good evening. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you, Anson, for inviting me. I do a lot of events, but I have to say this is one of my favorites. I've seen more tonight than I have in a long time that reminds me that we must not forget where we come from. And our final induction tonight is into the Hall of Fame. Great Western performers, dear friend and a filmmaker. I think this is where you talk.
Let's watch a little.
Yeah.
Let's watch a little of this film.
Okay.
When it comes to representing on film this part of the world that we call the West, few actors have done it as broadly and with more passion than Tommy Lee Jones. An 8th-generation Texan, Jones has long been interested in making films about the history of his beloved country. Whether it was playing characters like the forceful Captain Call in Lonesome Dove,
I hate rude behavior in a man. Won't tolerate it.
Or a sheriff at the end of his career, feeling overmatched against the forces he's fought against his whole life.
My God, Wendell, it's just all-out war. I can't think of any other word for it. Who are these people?
Tommy Lee Jones has brought the West alive to us on film. Not stuck in a certain time period or theme, but a West that is more complex, diverse, and compelling than ever just one film could capture. Jones has proved his talent, both in front and behind the camera, directing 4 films, including most recently The Homesman, which won a Wrangler Award in 2015. Actor, director, Texan, all these terms describe him. But tonight, we add one more term to the list: great Western performer. Please welcome Tommy Lee Jones into the Hall of Great Western Performers.
Wow. I know tonight's not about me, but Canada, the big daddy of them all, I'm available. It is with great pleasure and honor, of course, that we induct the legendary Tommy Lee into the Hall of Great Western Performers, into the museum. Please join us in congratulating Tommy Lee on this prestigious award.
Due to an unexpected back surgery, he could not attend tonight. Winona and I are happy to accept this award and share these remarks on his behalf. Now, Tommy Lee wrote this, and I'm going to read it to you kind of like he would. To the board of the directors of National Cowboy Hall of Fame and Western Heritage Museum, and especially the Western Heritage Committee, the films I have written and directed have been dedicated to the history of my home, and several other films that I've worked on have been set in what people call the West. Now, I've heard people use the term Western to describe film so much that I'm no longer sure what it means. It seems they generally boil it down to a way to describe any film that has horses and big hats in it. A lot of bad films have been made on horses and big hats. I'm sincerely honored that the Western Heritage Museum has acknowledged my consideration of our home and film with this award, and I'm looking forward to making many more good, honest films.
Amen.
Based on horses and big hats.
Amen. Nothing more to say.
Congratulations once again to Tommy Lee Jones.